Hello and welcome guys and welcome to this short vlog. And yes, there are two big updates coming up from the institute side for December 2023 attempt of examination. Update number 1, model question papers have been released for the intermediate level. Yes, they have been released for foundation level as well. There is no change in the paper pattern for foundation students. It remains the same. But for intermediate student, there is a change in paper pattern. For final students, MQPs have not been released as of now, but I'm expecting that for final students also, there will be some changes in the paper pattern which we can expect. It's not a major change, guys. There's no major change, but yes, some level of adjustment you need to do in your mind structurally while structuring your answers so that you are able to adapt to this particular new pattern which has been introduced for the intermediate students. Now, if you come on the student section of the institute website, there's a ticker going on at the top. Red ticker is going on, and this ticker contains the new MQPs which have been released for the intermediate students as of now. We still await the MQPs for the final students. Soon as they are out, I'll be discussing them also with you. Now, what is the change, guys? What is the change? The change is that in these MQPs which have been released for intermediate, I'm directly clicking on intermediate, guys. If you check out any of the MQP, like I've opened MQP for financial accounting, the change is that the structure remains the same, which is 30 marks of MCQs and 70 marks of the main paper. Okay, but the change is that these MCQs are only going to be MCQs. There is no fill in the blanks, there are no true and false, there are no other kind of objective type questions which were asked in the earlier paper pattern. Now there's a constant pattern which is only MCQs which will be asked in your objective type questions. There'll be no other type of questions like fill in the blanks or true or false which will be asked. So this is how your structure will be validated for December 23 attempt and hopefully for the future attempts as well. Now, if you see section B, section A is the objective test section. Section B, you have to answer any 5 questions out of 7 questions. Each question carry 14 marks each. So 5 questions out of the 7 questions. So you have 2 choice questions, okay? And in these 2 choice questions, you can leave 2 questions. There are total 8 number of questions. So out of 7, so first question mandatory. Out of rest 7, you need to attempt 5. That is the new paper pattern. Now, one very specific thing which I need to highlight for direct taxation paper. So, guys, same goes for costing and law as well. But for direct taxation, I need to specifically highlight an important aspect, which is, okay, let me show you this, okay. Now, earlier, the paper of direct and indirect taxation was clearly divided into 2 parts. 50 marks for direct taxation, 50 marks for indirect taxation. This time, the institute has merged both the sections. There is no clear demarcation that 50 marks is reserved for direct taxation, 50 marks is reserved for indirect taxation. This demarcation has been done away with by the institute, which means that, and I'm not sure, I don't know what will happen, but okay, first I'm not telling you the meaning, which means that please cancel that statement of mine. I'll not tell you the meaning first of all. First of all, I'm going to discuss the new paper pattern with you, and then I'm going to tell you my interpretation of it, okay. First, just see what is the new paper pattern. MCQ, first question 30 marks, 15 questions, 2 marks each, okay. Now these 15 questions are divided into 3 parts, okay, apparently. Number 1, direct taxation, 7 questions, indirect taxation, 7 questions, and 1 question for customs. This is how this MCQs have been bifurcated. So 7 questions of direct taxation, 7 questions of indirect taxation, and 1 question for custom. Okay, in this there are 2 questions of customs, okay. So the bifurcation is 7 questions for direct taxation, 6 questions for IDT, and 2 questions for customs. So customs and IDT combined together as 8 questions, and direct taxation 7 questions. That is the bifurcation which institute has at least done this particular paper pattern, okay. Now coming on to section B, very critical, guys. Again, there are 7 questions in section B. Question number 2 to question number 8, these are 7 questions, and out of the 7 questions you have to do 5 questions. Now the catch is that out of these 7 questions, 3 questions are IDT and 4 questions are DT. So question number 2, DT. Question number 3, DT. Question number 4, DT. Question number 5, DT. Question number 6, IDT. Question number 7, IDT. Question number 8, IDT. So 3 questions IDT, 4 questions DT, and you can choose any any questions which you need to do. I mean you have to choose any 5 questions. Okay, so 2 questions you can leave in your paper. Now, which means that now the main point of consideration over here. It means that if you choose all the 3 questions of IDT, then 14 multiplied by 3, that is your number of marks which you have attempted for IDT. Okay, if you choose all the questions of IDT, 42 marks you have chosen for IDT, then plus 8 marks of MCQs in IDT. Okay, 16 marks, 8 questions, 16 marks. I'm doing plus 16, it goes as 58. Okay, so which means that now that foundation of 50 marks IDT, 50 marks IDT is all done away with. That is done away with. If you want, you can choose to do 60 marks of DT paper and 40 marks of IDT paper. If you want, you can choose that. And if you want to choose IDT paper a little more, you can do that. So that is the fungibility or the adjustment that you can do in your paper. You can choose to do direct taxation more. You can choose to do indirect taxation more. That is the variability which has been introduced by this particular paper pattern. Now, I'll come on to my, which means that, which I cancelled my statement in the earlier part of my talk. This paper pattern also means that it is not necessary that institute will always give 3 questions of IDT, the thing which institute has done in this particular part. Institute has given 3 questions of IDT, 4 questions of DT. It is not necessary that institute will always give 3 questions of IDT. If institute wants, institute can give 4 questions of IDT and 3 questions of DT. So now, if fungibility is there from your end, then fungibility is also there from institute's end. Institute can choose to give more questions of direct taxation rather than indirect taxation. Institute can do that. Similarly, you can choose to attempt more number of questions of IDT or vice versa, more number of questions of DT. If you want, you can choose that. So that is a slight variability, slight fungibility which has been introduced in this particular paper pattern, which is, according to me, is little risky, because sometimes what students do is they would do IDT very well, assuming that 50 marks of paper they will have to attend for IDT. They do IDT very well. They do a DT on an average basis, on an average level, and that is what they do. And that this strategy might go for a toss if the institute chooses to give more questions of DT. So this fungibility has been created in that indirect tax paper by the institute. Similarly, guys, if we come on to group 2 paper, okay, group 2 has not been released as of now. Group 2 paper has not been released. If we come to group 2, your paper of corporate accounts and audit, guys, same 50-50 marks of bifurcation was there in the earlier pattern, but in this particular pattern we can expect that in group 2 as well, guys, this clear bifurcation will be lost somewhere and fungibility will arise. You have to be very, very careful now in choosing the questions which you have to choose. Again, there's ample amount of choices, so some students choose to leave capital gains, right? You can leave a question of capital gain. There's a question of capital gain combined with other income. You can choose to leave capital gain in its entirety. But guys, if the question is quite easy, then you will be at a loss. So I would suggest, don't leave anything. Don't leave any chapter. You do primary level of capital gains, the basic level of capital gains you do. Don't do the advanced portion of capital gains, which includes slum sales or employee stock option plans, etc., etc. But at least do basic level of capital gains, so that you're able to at least write the basic level of question. This is a basic level of question which has been given in the MQP. So yes, this fungibility is going to create benefit for some, loss for some. Let's see how the paper turns up, because this is this pattern is new to us, so we'll also take some time to adjust with this pattern, but it's okay, guys. The best part is that the true and false and fill in the blanks have been done away with, which is a good step according to me, because they are too subjective. These MCQs type questions are pretty straightforward, and you will not be facing a lot of problem in these kind of questions. So That's a good move from the institute side. But yes, breaking the barrier of 50-50 marks of bifurcation between subject, that according to me might throw up certain level of challenge in front of the students. Let's see how will we recuperate with it. But nothing major, guys, nothing major. You continue your studies the way you have done it, and there's no downside to it, there's no problem to it, so nothing major. So yes, continue with your studies as of now. Now coming on to the second big news, and it's a breaking, no, it's not actually a breaking news or something like that. It is just a tutorial workshop which has been introduced by the students under CMA syllabus 2022. So guys, tutorial videos have been released by the institute, and these tutorial videos have got, for certain subjects it is for cost audit, it is for paper number 20C, which is entrepreneurial development. It is for SCM, costing is there, SPM BVM, SFM and SPM BVM, financial modeling. One video has been uploaded. So this is the portal where tutorial workshops have been introduced by the institute. Now, benefit of these tutorial videos are specifically for subject like FMDA. It's a new subject. Data analytics is a new subject. You're not aware about the concepts, and you're not aware about the new things which have been coming up, which might come up in the subject. Please see these tutorial videos for sure. They're only for 1 hour each or 2 hour each, and class 1, class 2. This is how it will be uploaded. For SCM, 3 classes have been uploaded. Cost audit, 1 class, 2 class, 3 classes have been uploaded for cost audit. Entrepreneurial development also, none of the classes have been uploaded as of now. So this is how, guys, this tutorial workshop has been arranged. You can actually see the tutorial workshops as well, and it's recommended. Please see tutorial workshops for certain topics. It won't discuss the entire subject, but it'll cover certain chapters. Especially for students who have not taken coaching, this will be a very good aid to do your last minute brush up and last minute revision. It will be a very good aid for those students. And yes, finally, last but not all the least, guys, test series have been started for the students, and test series for intermediate and final student has been started, and you have to just get yourself registered for the test series at this mobile number 9643 92 9913. Just get yourself registered on this mobile number for the test series. For intermediate and final students, it has been started 9643 92 9913. Just join the WhatsApp group of relevant level, be it inter or final. Test series free of cost for all the CMA students has been started. It will start, the first test is on 14th of October. Please give test so that you are able to analyze your preparations and analyze your strategy and the way you are performing, so that you are able to revise those portions where you are weak. CMA Intermediate, direct taxation, indirect taxation, audit, 3 subjects test series is starting. CMA Final, cost audit, BVM, SPM, 2 subjects test series will be started in the WhatsApp group. So join in the WhatsApp group. Just WhatsApp in this on this number. Please add me to intermediate test series, or please add me to final test series, and my team will add you. And please give tests regularly, starting from 14th of October till fag end of November or starting of December. These tests will continue mostly on weekends, so that you're able to give them comfortably. So yes, test series has also started. Yes, on that note, guys, it's an important update, and I'll be coming up with more such updates for all of you. Please visit the MQPs, and please see MQPs which have been released for Group 1. Soon Group 2, Group 3, Group 4 MCQs will also be released. So if there's some change in the paper pattern, I will definitely come back to you. We'll meet in our next video. Till that time, all the very best and happy studying.